Honestly, a little nervous about this one. Buckle up, folks, because today we're diving into one of the most heated debates since the dawn of time. No, not is pineapple on pizza a crime against humanity, although it possibly is. Today we're tackling something even more decisive. Are women really worse drivers than men? Now ladies, before you grab your keys, start rage typing in the comments or speed off to prove a point. Hang tight. We're looking at both sides, including actual data on driving habits, accidents, and who's more likely to mess up a parallel park. Newsflash, it's not who you think. So let's hit the gas, not literally, and let's dive into this head-on collision of a debate. Alright, let's start from the beginning. Where did this whole women are bad drivers thing even start?
Scared?
Was there some secret council meeting in the 1920s where Henry Ford was like, "Dem dames can't drive"? And that's what really set us up for decades of questionable jokes?
We say to let a woman drive a car is like to let a monkey fly a plane. Very dangerous.
The truth is, this stereotype goes way back to the early days of the automobile. Back then, driving was seen as a manly man's job. Men were in the driver's seat, literally and figuratively. Women were encouraged to stick to more domestic duties like cooking, cleaning, child-rearing, but definitely not driving. It was as if society said, "Don't worry that pretty little head with that complicated, confusing thing called a car, ladies, but 10 and 2 if you're gonna wash them dishes." And guess what? When women finally started driving, those old biases didn't just disappear. They were turned into punchlines, comics, and eventually stereotypes.
And the self-starter put the woman driver behind the wheel instead of in the back seat.
That lived on longer than a Fast and Furious franchise. What are they on, like 50 now? Let's talk real data. Who's actually safer behind the wheel? Alright, time for some facts. Yes, I know facts, but don't panic. We're looking at real data. Not hearsay from your unemployed uncle that drives that squatted truck. They're based on analysis of data from the US Department of Transportation's Fatality Analysis Reporting System, FARS. So, who's the better driver? Well, it depends on what you're measuring. We can start with accidents and insurance rates. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, see, I told you there would be fancy facts.
This is a house of learned doctors.
Men are more likely to be involved in serious accidents. Like we're talking 70% of all traffic fatalities. 70%! I'm no mathematician. Carry the 1. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And here's the kicker. Insurance companies know it too. That's why men pay higher premiums.
What?
Basically, insurance companies look at men and think, this guy's got a shiny new car. Let's see how fast he can wrap it around a tree.
I drove my car into a lake.
Then your wife gets mad when you're trying to shop for an insurance quote.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Next up, speeding and risk-taking. Men are also more likely to speed, drive under the influence, and wait for it, skip wearing their seatbelts. Seriously, fellas, wear a seatbelt. Not a suggestion. You ever see a guy act like buckling up is a personal attack on his masculinity? Like this guy. Walk it off, little buddy. But wait, who's better at parking? Alright, fine, I hear you yelling. Everyone knows women can't park. Well, let's put that myth in reverse. Studies show that women are more cautious and take their time when parking.
Go right a little, go right and then back.
Sure, it might take a few extra seconds, but guess what? That means fewer scratches, fewer dings, and fewer "Hey, sorry I hit your mailbox again" notes. Now men, on the other hand, are more likely to think they've got this, overestimate their abilities, and end up parking halfway on the curb, like it's some kind of art installation. You ever see a guy squeeze into a spot like, "Nailed it"? Yeah, good job, bro. Now let's talk driving styles. Aggressive versus defensive.
Try and ease off on the brake.
Men typically more aggressive drivers. It's like every guy behind the wheel thinks he's John Wick. You pull up to a red light next to another car, and suddenly it's like,
Grab hold of something.
is this a race? Are we racing right now?
No, Jeff, we're going to Target.
Women, on the other hand, tend to be more defensive drivers. They yield, follow traffic rules, and generally avoid treating every trip to the grocery store like a Mario Kart speed run.
Woohoo! I love this!
Yeah, we're talking actual responsible driving. Unless they're mad at you.
You know what, on second thought? Let's take your daddy's special car today.
If you got a car like this, don't anger them. Go ahead, ask me how I know. That said, sometimes defensive driving can be a little too cautious.
Go for it, Stephanie.
You know the feeling when the light turns green and the person in front of you is buffering worse than the Netflix Tyson fight. And yes, it's frustrating and could lead to good old road rage.
You dumb broad!
Hold, Stephanie. Gently extend your arm. Extend your middle finger. Very good. Well done.
So who's the better driver? We're about to find out. But first, let's crash into that like and subscribe button.
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not good.
We got new episodes coming fast and furious at you every single week, and you don't want to miss those. Also, what was your first car? Go ahead and put it in the comments below. So before we pick a clear winner, we need to debunk a few myths. One popular belief is that women get into more minor accidents, like fender benders. And yeah, statistically, that's kind of true. But guess what? Those minor accidents rarely result in serious damage or injury.
Hey, for the leg!
So while men might sometimes avoid a few parking lot scratches, thanks Carrie Underwood, guys do way more sketchy stuff and are more likely to be involved in crashes that could, total a car.
So I sped, I followed too closely, I ran a stop sign, I almost hit a Chevy, I sped some more, I failed to yield at a crosswalk, I changed lanes in the intersection, I changed lanes without signaling while running a red light and speeding!
Meanwhile, women might have the occasional tap of a bumper, but they're not out there flipping their RVs like it's a stunt show. Let's be real. Would you rather deal with a dented fender or someone who thinks they can pull off a Hollywood car chase during rush hour? Who's really the better driver? Well, based on stats, accidents, risk-taking behavior, and insurance rates, women tend to have the edge. I'm sorry, fellas. The numbers just don't lie.
As a man right now, I'm a little disappointed in my gender's performance.
Many more men than women die each year in motor vehicle crashes. But men typically drive more miles than women and are more likely to engage in risky driving practices, including not using seatbelts, driving while impaired by alcohol, and speeding. So crashes with male drivers are often much more severe than those with female drivers.
I can't stop! Help! There's a cliff! No, I can't feel my legs!
For nearly every year from 1975 to 2022, the number of male crash deaths was more than twice the number of female crash deaths. In that time frame, male crash deaths declined by about 6%, and female crash deaths have decreased by almost 1%. Since 1975, motorcyclist deaths have increased by more than 90% among both males and females. I wonder why. However, females are more likely than males to be killed or injured in crashes of similar severity. The type of vehicles men drive and the circumstances of their crashes contribute to the decreased risk. So, who should you ride with?
Shotgun! My car, I call it first shotgun!
Per capita, passenger vehicle occupant death rates during 1975 to 2022 have been about twice as high for males as for females. But at the same time, the rate of passenger vehicle occupant deaths per 100,000 people decreased 50% among males and 35% among females. The good news is, the fatality risk between male and female drivers has diminished in newer vehicles with improvements in crashworthiness and restraint design. So maybe next time someone says, women are bad drivers, just smile and say, sure buddy, tell that to your insurance agent.
Hey, do they ever ask you what you're wearing?
Yeah.
Does this mean women are perfect drivers? Absolutely not. But when it comes to being cautious, following the rules, and not treating the road like Grand Theft Auto, women come out on top. Sorry, fellas. So why then does this stereotype persist? And how to break it? If women are statistically safer drivers, why does this stereotype stick around, like the smell from the backseat of your car?
Oh, wow. It smells like a Thai food buffet covered in rat poop and direct sunlight in July.
The answer is simple. People like to make fun of things that go against the norm. Driving used to be seen as a man's job.
I am a semi-professional race car driver and an amateur tattoo artist.
So when women entered the scene, it became an easy target for jokes.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lanes? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
And those jokes got passed down like the weird recipe that no one likes, but somehow keeps showing up.
sloppy Joes.
Lady, you're scaring us.
Breaking the stereotype is easy. Stop looking at driving as a competition and start looking at the actual facts. By the way, Danica Patrick would probably beat most of us guys in a race anyways. So, the next time someone says women are bad drivers, present this to them like a nice shiny speeding ticket.
I heard you didn't give pretty girls tickets.
We don't. Sign here.
Alright folks, road trip's over. Final verdict? Are women really worse drivers than men?
Where I come from, they always blame the Latino driver.
Where you come from, isn't everybody a Latino driver?
Not even close.
No, he didn't just hit my baby.
Hey, what the hell, guys?
In fact, women are often the safer, more responsible driver.
Are you drunk?
No, I didn't have anything to drink.
You into this?
Oh, okay.
Sorry guys, but again, the numbers don't lie. But don't worry, if Elon gets his way, none of us will be driving anyway. So, problem solved. So if you just love proving stereotypes wrong, hit that like button and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you get updated when we serve up weekly fresh goodness. And the next time someone argues about who's the better driver, just share this video. You'll save yourself some time and probably save them a few $100 on their next insurance bill.
Lilo and I can help.
We've saved this member of the fair and so-called weaker sex.
Until next time, drive safe, stay smart, and just remember,
If you ain't first, you're last.